Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see how to deploy the Azure Kubernetes cluster via the Azure portal. So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. I am logged on to the portal, and as you are aware, we were logged on to the portal, and you have to sign into the Azure, and then you want to click on create a resource. And after that, select containers. Here it is. You would see the Kubernetes service. Click on it. My subscription is pay as you go. One is disabled, one is working fine. I'm going to create a new resource group, AKSRG. Okay, the name, Kubernetes cluster name test. Okay, region, I would go for Central India. What would you go for the default? I would go for the default version. The DNS name would be test Azure-DNS. And the node size, the primary node pool, the number and size of nodes in the primary node pool in your cluster. For production workloads, at least 3 nodes are recommended for resiliency. For development, we can go for 1. So I'm going to go with 1. I'm going to click on next. Okay, it's going to ask me for the scaling thing. On the scale page, keep the default options at the bottom of the page. Click next. I'm going to go with the default ones, and I would click on next for the authentication. On the authentication page, we have to configure the options which is cluster infrastructure and Kubernetes authentication and authorization. So I'm going to create a new service principal because I do not have the service principal. Or if you want, you can choose the option configure the service principal to use an existing one. If you would click here, you would have to use the existing, and then if you have one, you can enter the details here. I don't have it. I'm going to go with the new one. And it says to enable the option for Kubernetes role-based access control. Now, this will provide more fine-grained control over the access to the Kubernetes resource. I'm going to go with next. And under the networking, we're going to use basic networking, and Azure Monitor for containers is enabled. As you would see, load balancer, standard network configuration, basic, HTTP application routing. I'm not going to do that. Go with next. Enable container monitoring. I'm going to say yes. It would create a log analytics workspace for the log. So again, we will go with the new one that this deployment will create. I'm not going to create a new one from here. Next, it would say for the tags, let's leave the tags as blank. Review and create. It will take a few seconds for me to click on the create button. It will do the validation testing and then would enable the option to click on create. It came as to be clicked. I'm going to click on create here. Initializing the deployment will take some time. And as soon as it is done, we're going to use the kubectl, the Kubernetes command line client. So it is by default, enabled on this Cloud Shell. So till the time it is going, I'm gonna go with the Central India resource scope. I'm gonna select this storage account, create new storage, trade new test Azure file share. So it would deploy this as well. I'm saving some time here, enabling the Cloud Shell, because I'm going to show you how you would connect to this, the AKS cluster using the kubectl. You can install kubectl on your laptop or desktop as well, but I'm going to do it through the Cloud Shell. So it is both are under, so Cloud Shell is initializing. That is good. and this deployment is underway. Take some time. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when this deployment is completed. All right, my deployment is complete. That is a good sign. And I showed you how to, install the Cloud Shell, how to launch the Cloud Shell within the Azure portal. Now, to configure the kubectl to connect to the Kubernetes cluster, we will use the AKS get dash credentials. Let's see what comes up. Oh, okay. So we'll do this. Now type in my dash resource group, KS name, test. Right, so see it merged the current context to my home directory. Now you would see kubectl get nodes. Let's see what comes up. So there are 3 nodes. Right, the status is ready, roles are agent, and the time and the version it's showing you. Right, so if you want to run the application, there is a Kubernetes file, the manifest file, which defines a desired state for the cluster, such as what container images to run. And so you can use a manifest used to create all objects needed to run the Azure any application. And you can use the nano editor in the Azure Cloud Shell or the VI editor to create a file, and then copy the content of the file which is in the YAML format to do it, and then you would apply the settings. It would deploy that. I'm going to show you this in the next video. So these were the basics things that I wanted you to see, and in the next video we will see further action related to AKS. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.